Yo, what's good, YouTube family? It's your boy, Dr. PG NGM. Praise God to get money. Back with Engineers to the Street and bring y'all another banger, man. Yes, sir, man. Y'all know what it is. And yes, ma'am, as well. We have males and females tuning in, man. First off, I want to thank y'all for the support, man. It's been amazing, man. I want to thank God, number one. You know what I'm saying? God is good. Without him, I am nothing. So I really appreciate the fact that y'all supporting that. He sending y'all to me and sending y'all my way. So I can talk about something that I love and I have a passion for, man. And I don't have a problem disagreeing. You know what I'm saying? I love. That's why I'm so engaging in the comments, because I love the discussion. But if you're being goofy, I'm gonna call you out on that too. You know what I'm talking about? I don't tolerate no BS now, because I really know my boxing. We can disagree all day, but you got to come with your facts, man. And today the facts are that we're going with Fighter of the Year, man. This discussion is super hot, super hot. But before we get to that, I also want to wish y'all happy Kwanzaa. This is the third day of Kwanzaa. It's Ujima. And it's a collective work of responsibility, man. So shout out to y'all, celebrate Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Merry Christmas. I didn't forget about y'all either. And happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Whatever you indulge in, whatever you observe, whatever you celebrate, man. I wish y'all the best. Happy holidays to cover the entirety of it all. Now let's get right to it, man. Fighter of the Year, man. You know that discussion centers around this man right here, man. Naoya Inoue. But we have a challenger, and he's serious too, man. He's serious now. He's a serious contender. We got Devin Haney, man. We got Devin Haney right there. You can see both of these phenomenal boxers right here who I enjoy watching, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we most recently, Inoue came off of fighting Marlon Tapales. And, Haney's last fight was earlier this month as well against Regis Prograis, where he moved up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that super bantamweight battle between Marlon Tapales. If you ain't catch it, man, we covered it as well. You know, we do all the live commentary for the fights, man. So we gonna do the next one too. It's coming up very soon on the 31st, I believe. So a couple days, come kick it with us. But yeah, man. So we got Inoue and we got Devin Haney. I'm gonna keep it real funky, man. A lot of people want Inoue to be pound for pound king. That's a whole nother conversation. Go check out the last video. It's between him and Crawford. I have Crawford, but it's an interesting conversation, you know what I'm saying? And also, Crawford wants to be considered for this Fighter of the Year, you know? And I'm not saying Crawford himself, but people want him to. I'm pretty sure he wants to be considered as well, you know what I'm saying? And I just, as great as he did, you know, his dismantling, his demolishing of Errol Spence, who's an undefeated fighter, great fighter, you know what I'm saying? He had his hiccups and stuff like that with his car accidents, his layoffs and all that stuff, but people are denouncing him as a bad fighter. He's overrated. Get the hell out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. Errol Spence is a monster. There's a reason why he only lost to one person. I don't care how bad he looked. He only lost to one person, and that was a battle for whose era of boxing this was, and he lost. He came up short. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Terence Crawford. However, for Fighter of the Year, I can give him pound for pound honors. But Fighter of the Year, in my opinion, is very hard to obtain that accolade, and you only fought once. You know what I'm saying? He only fought Errol Spence. I don't care how great you looked, because he looked phenomenal. I don't care though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta factor in the quantity. I'm not saying quantity makes quality, but in this case, for Fighter of the Year, it's very hard to secure that accolade only fighting one time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's very hard. So I think that he's could be disregarded because of that, you know. Unfortunately, you know, we just wish he was a little more active, or he could have been, and that might not be his fault, but whatever, it is what it is, man. I'm gonna keep it short, man, so let's keep it going. Next up, we have David Benavidez for Fight of the Year, man. You know, he fought Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? That was a good fight. That was a good fight. He won that, man. Shout out to Caleb Plant for surviving against the Mexican monster. He did his thing. I think that was back in, what, March? And then he also beat Demetrius Andrade. Andrade is a tough fighter, man. Great fighter. Another fighter that people ducked and dodged for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? But that part, even though these are both great wins, the fact that Andrade was ducked and dodged or avoided, whatever you want to say, he was avoided, period. Whether you want to say it was by his own accord or by his opponents. His resume isn't that great, you know what I'm saying, on its own. So that kind of knocks David Benavidez down, in my opinion, for Fighter of the Year, because Andrade's resume is not really comparable to the resume of Haney's opponents, who would be Lomachenko this year, and who was the other opponent? Regis Prograis. I just said it, yeah. And then also Inoue's opponents was Stephen Fulton, who was undefeated, and Tapales, who I will get into a little bit later. He was not undefeated, which you don't have to be undefeated to be great, but when you're considering things and awards like this, you have to factor in everything, the totality of the argument. You can't be we all have our innate biases, of course, but you can't be blatantly biased, you know what I'm saying, to the point where you're disregarding and omitting facts just to fit your narrative. That's crazy. I don't even entertain that. So I think Devin Benavidez, I think that I could comfortably put him behind Haney and Inoue as far as his opponents go and his performance this year. So fight of the year, I think I'm going to go ahead and get David Benavidez out, even though he's a strong contender. So I'm going through the strong contenders now. We already covered Terence Crawford and David Benavidez. Next up, man. Next up. I'm surprised I do not hear this man's name. I'm like, am I the only person that watched boxing this year? Or maybe people forget or disrespect him? But I feel like another person that needs to be up for consideration is Emanuel Navarrete. Am I tripping? Do y'all agree with me or not? Let me know in the comments, man. Emanuel Navarrete fought 3 times this year. You know what I'm saying? And he fought Liam Wilson back in February. I think that was a 9th round stoppage. And then he fought what's my boy's name, man? What's my boy's name? Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez, that was a great fight, man. To me, that's you could debate if that is could be fighter of the year. Fight of the year. That could be up there for fight of the year honors, man. If you haven't seen that fight between Emanuel Navarrete and Oscar Valdez, please go watch that. That was a great fight, man. Action packed. It ended by decision. But it was a good fight in my opinion. I liked it. It was an action packed fight.
But wait, there's more.
And then, you know, I think, you know, he fought a 3rd time. Now, he fought a 3rd time. He fought Robson Conceição. Now, this is why I think it disqualifies him. Not disqualifies him, but it gives him a notch down, even though he fought 3 times. It's because it was a draw. Now, that was another fight of the year contender. So this man has 2 fight of the year contenders, in my opinion. Him and Robson Conceição, they put on a hell of a show, man. The only thing is that for Emanuel Navarrete, it was a draw. So he didn't lose, but he didn't win. So I think that if he would have won, I would have him. I'm not going to lie to you. It would have been tough, man. I probably would have had Emanuel Navarrete winning fighter of the year.
What?
Just for fighting 3 times and having 2 wars, man. And granted, you can say it's not everything to just have a war with somebody. That doesn't mean that your opponent is good because you have a war with them. It just means that you know, styles make fights. But Robson Conceição is a good fighter. Oscar Valdez is also a good fighter. So I think he would have been up there, man. So it's just because of that draw, man. I think that puts him behind. But I'll be honest, I have him above David Benavidez. So right now I have Terence Crawford 4th. Sorry, Terence Crawford 5th, fighter of the year. David Benavidez 4th, and Emanuel Navarrete 3rd. At 3rd place for fighter of the year, in my opinion, just my humble opinion. Now we're gonna go back to these 2 gentlemen right here, man. Haney and Inoue, man. Now we have to, like I said, man, we have to consider everything. Inoue has been a 2-time undisputed champion, man. You know what I'm saying, with that super bantamweight over Marlon Tapales. However, I bet you a lot of you do not know this, man. Tapales this was Tapales' 4th loss.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, no 3, we got bitches second nights in a lot though. Big chop knock a nigga out zapato.
Well, how else you want me to give it to you, man? I'm bilingual. You know what I'm talking about? I can do you in different languages. How you want it? Patois, 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm talking about? I have 3 jobs.
Me blood clot.
so 4, man. I can give you a patois too. So that's 4 losses. And you have to consider that. I'm not saying that because you have a loss, it's necessarily bad. But when you're comparing these two gentlemen that are so even when it comes to fighter of the year and these accolades, you got to take it down to the nitty gritty, man. And you know, you have to consider these things. Marlon Tapales is a beast. He was a champion. No question about it. He was a champion. But still, this was his 4th loss. You know what I'm saying? On the flip side, now Devin Haney. Devin Haney's 2 fights were low, but before I get to Devin Haney, Inoue beat Stephen Fulton, and Stephen Fulton was undefeated, so that was a great win because Stephen Fulton now has 1 loss. You know what I'm saying? And he beat him in decisive fashion. You know, Inoue got him up out of there. Now let's go to Haney. Those are his 2 fights, Fulton and Tapales. Keep up now.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Now Haney fought Lomachenko, right? And he fought Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis, he dominated Regis Prograis. It was shocking. And he got him a knockdown in what, the 3rd round? So, but you know, people say, hey, he came in as a little heavy. You know what I'm talking about? A little chunky monkey. You know what I'm talking about?
God damn it, that's a big fat ass!
So he came in a little heavy, on the heavy side. He came in damn near a super middleweight, 165 pounds. But this is something you have to consider, you know. So, and people talk about rehydration clauses. That's why you might have to implement some of those. But you know what I'm saying? There wasn't, and he did his thing. I can't take away from him. He did his thing. He dominated Regis Prograis. Next up, his next fight, or his earlier fight, rather, was Lomachenko. Now, this is where it gets a little shaky, baby. A lot of people, including myself, had Lomachenko winning that fight. It was very controversial. Now, I'm okay with Devin Haney winning because it was such a close fight. If you had Lomachenko winning, I'm cool. If you had Devin Haney winning, I'm cool. If you had a draw, I'm cool. But Devin Haney won. I had Lomachenko slightly winning, but I'm cool with the result. You know what I'm saying? And on paper, he still won. But these are things you have to consider when presenting these accolades and these rewards or awards of Fighter of the Year. So, in my opinion, because it was a shaky, controversial win, no matter how many losses Tapales had, in a way, and give you no doubt that he was the better fighter. He give you no, you know what I'm saying, you had no reservation, no contemplation.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga!
Nothing to think about or consider. He definitely beat Fulton. He definitely beat Tapales. So, in my opinion, that makes this man, Naoya Inoue, blow him up on the screen, the Fighter of the Year, man. That's just my humble opinion, man. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I think Devin Haney's number 2. So for the top 5 of Fighter of the Year, we'll go back through it. I got Terence Crawford number 5. I got David Benavidez coming in 4th place. I got Emanuel Navarrete coming in 3rd place. I got Devin Haney in 2nd, and I got Naoya Inoue taking Fighter of the Year. Taking Fighter of the Year award. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's taking that, man. I think he definitely won that. Now, when it comes to Pound for Pound King, I still got Terence Crawford. Go check out the video. I explain why in that one. But the Fighter of the Year honors goes to Naoya Inoue, and no doubt in my mind. Next up, we got the freaking Coach of the Year now. Now, this is where things get interesting, man. We got Bomac, which is Terence Crawford's trainer, and we got Bill Haney. In my opinion, it comes down to these two. You know, Bomac, you know, I ain't even got to go through his resume, you know what I'm saying? And, we already know the proofs of the pudding with Terence Crawford. That's all you really need. But in addition to that, he also has a young man, Keyshawn Davis, in addition to others in this stable, you know, and he's doing a great job with him. You know, he's an up-and-comer. Keyshawn Davis, go check him out. And then you got Bill Haney. Bill Haney, you know, he pretty much known for just coaching and directing his son, Devin Haney, obviously. But he's done a phenomenal job. You know, Devin Haney is the youngest undisputed champion. So, you know, you got to give kudos to that. So, here's another example. Quantity doesn't always make quality, because if you just have one phenomenal fighter, man, hey, keep it going. Let me sip on my tea real quick, getting a little cold. You feel me? And that's the peppermint mixed with the red clover. Peppermint and red clover with the organic honey. You know my thing. I need me a tea sponsorship endorsement. Holla at me. But yeah, man. So yeah. So I think Devin Haney, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Devin Haney and Bomac. I lean towards Bomac a little bit, but then I flip it. I'm like, dang, man, Devin Haney looks great. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney looks great. I love what they're doing, going up through the weight divisions and stuff. I'm not saying that's everything, but it's something, and you got to get kudos for that. However, I think about the way they carry themselves, man. Bomac talks a lot of trash. Yeah. He's very boisterous, yeah. But Devin Haney, Bill Haney is too. And Bill Haney, I don't like the way he goes a little. To me, he's a little shady, man. I as an amateur boxer myself, I despise leaking spar footage, leaking quotations, because you know they put it out intentionally, or potentially intentionally, and I think it's more intentional. I'm just tired of that. Like I feel like he had the where the leaked footage of Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, you know, and so Shakur Stevenson saying he was getting tired, and then he was talking about the little work that Floyd got with Devin Haney, saying that Devin Haney didn't touch Floyd. And it's just, you know, it's kind of like Vegas, you know, the sparring, that's like an unwritten code, man. It's just like what goes on in the gym stays in the gym. Now, if you trash talking and it gets out, okay, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of conversation. But you actually let out the footage, premeditated, of what when you're gonna release it just to fit your narrative. I think that's kind of shaky, man. I don't know. It kind of screams that, like, it just seems a little bit unprofessional. You know, I don't like it. So that's a little knock on him. But still, it's not enough to disregard his work that he put in. So like I said, some days I think Bill Haney's Coach of the Year, and then another day I think Bomac. You know, I more so lean towards Bomac. But y'all let me know in the comments, man. I'm undecided. I'd love to hear from y'all. Like I said, I always love to hear from y'all. Please let me know who y'all leaning towards for Coach of the Year, Bomac or Bill Haney. I feel like those two are ahead of the game, ahead of everybody else. I kind of slightly lean towards Bomac. But yeah, y'all let me know, man. I'm undecided, man. I appreciate y'all rocking, but as always, man, please keep the support coming. Keep the comments coming. Even if you disagree with me, it's cool, but you better come equipped. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm going to point you out. If you coming through looking like a clown, man, I'm going to knock you down. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. As always, don't forget to hit that like button as well. We out. God bless y'all. Love y'all. Happy holidays. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.